I wa- this sort of ties into, remember last week when we were talking about exploitation?
Mhm.
There's a movie called Night of Something Strange, and somebody in like one of the Joe Bob Briggs Facebook groups is talking about it. They're like, has anybody seen this? This movie's freaking crazy. And they're like, 2 minutes in, I already see this and I already see this. What the hell is going on with the people that made this movie? So it's basically, have you ever seen the movie It Follows? It's sort of about like, it's sort of kind of like STD zombies, pretty much. So like the disease travels between everybody that have sex, and then they have to like have sex with somebody else and pass it on. So it sort of reminded me of that. It's like zombie sexually transmitted disease. And there now this is on Tubi where you can check this out. Sort of has an 80s throwback feel, but it has a lot of, what separates this movie from other STD zombie movies is that it has crotch monsters. So
Well.
I mean, doesn't cost any money to watch this one because it's on Tubi, but you want something weird and that will and is very politically incorrect and it will offend people with sensitivities. Check this one out. It's a good one.
Wow, this reminds me. There's Trauma. Was it was Class of Nukem High, which had the killer penis?
Right. Uh-huh.
That's the first thing that popped into my
head.
Well,
I think Trauma also. Yeah, they also had one called
Trauma. Trauma has crotch monsters quite a bit.
Yeah, it could become its own subgenre if the STD zombie trend continues. So.
Yeah, there you go.
It's definitely something different.
Well, you know what? If you're into crotch monsters, hey, it is an interesting to go that way because you're going to get a rating that means that Netflix or Amazon is never going to pick you up.
You're pretty much guaranteed like an unrated rating, something that they couldn't pass by any of the boards for. But this movie is actually pretty funny in a lot of spots too. But yeah, it does have that kind of. I mean, they're really going for like the Gonzo stuff in this one, but it also does have quite a bit of funny shit in it. So
well, it's funny. Speaking of that, a couple days ago, and I don't know how it got forwarded to me, but there's you got to look it up. Like this is kind of funny. I don't know if this does anything for anyone's career, but there's a really well done video, and it's called The Alternate Scene for Robocop. I think you can Google it. Have you seen it?
Is it the one with the more crotch violence?
Yes. And he just shoots everybody in the crotch.
Yes, because there's that one scene where they're attacking that lady. She's like by the billboard or something, and she's standing in front of the bad guy, and so her dress is there, and they shoot her through the dress, and it goes into the guy's crotch behind her.
Yeah. That's the scene. And I gotta say, whoever did talking about so he blows up, I don't know, like 100 crotches in the scene, right? And it's over the top. But what I thought was super entertaining about it, someone forwarded it to me and I'm watching it. And the first part of it is, I swear, was the scenes from Robocop melded to these new scenes. But clearly they had a dude in a Robocop outfit because it's not Peter Weller, right? It's the other guy. But it was very seamless and really well done. Like it was. It's the exact same scene where it's like, your move, creep, or whatever he does. Yeah. And then the guy's got the girl and like you said, he shoots in the crotch and goes down. And I think I don't know if it's a famous scene from Robocop, but everyone knows that scene if you've seen that. Scene.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, another rapist comes up with another girl and he shoots another guy in the crotch. And then all of a sudden it just turns into he's just shooting literally hundreds of dudes in the crotch. And it's totally explicit. There's full frontal male nudity and full frontal male nudity exploding like all over the place. But it's really well done, and I think it's got like millions of views. I think you can find it.
It does merge very, very well too with like the footage from or at least looks like it's merging to the footage from the first Robocop. And also it makes me miss the days of the great Paul Verhoeven movies, and I think those are. He's doing movies, but they're not like they used to be.
Not like Starship Troopers or Robocop or any of this stuff.
He's doing more kind of artsy stuff now in smaller movies.
Yeah, you know what? He's getting older. It's fine.
But it doesn't matter. He's already done some of the most awesome movies ever made.
Awesome and got away with a lot. Like the Starship Troopers gore that he got away with was like, I remember watching Starship Troopers and going, how is he getting away with this? Like this is like some of the gore in there was over the top. But anyway, I watched that and it made me think it's like someone very talented put this short together that is literally unwatchable to 97% of the population because it's just exploding groins. and what it did, like, is it something that someone can do in an afternoon and just be like,
I don't know.
Did some guy work on this for like a month and a half? to
I
just
think
have,
that amount of crotch violence is a passion project. It's taken over weeks and months, possibly. Yeah.
But fuck, it was funny, and I was like, I hope this forwarded this guy's career. Like, I hope he could show that to someone, and it enabled him to get somewhere in his career, because someone put a lot of work and thought into recreating that scene with like 1,000 exploding crotches, and I was super impressed.
I've seen tons of short movies, and that one stuck out in my head right away when you mentioned it. It's been a couple of years since I've seen it, so see how effective that was.
Yeah, well, like you can see, and it's just well done. Hopefully that guy's going on to have a decent career. So moving on, we'll talk about what we're looking forward to in July.
Yeah, maybe he's like the crotch violence consultant for Hollywood.
Yeah, it's true. You know how some people have doctor consultants to come on and talk about, like, let's make sure that this arm break looks real, or that we're talking about real medicine here that is doing. He comes on set when it's like, hey, we got to explode a couple crotches in this movie. He's like, well, you got to hire Bob. Bob knows how to explode a crotch, and if you want it realistic, bring him in.
He's the union crotch guy. Yeah.
Don't you know him? He did the Robocop exploding crotch short. He's the exploding crotch guy. Yeah, hopefully, even if that's his career now, talk about being pigeonholed. God bless him.
Yeah, there's some good crotch violence in Night of Something Strange too, because to take out the villains in this, like regular zombies, you got to shoot in the head. Well, in this movie, you got to shoot them in their privates to be able to take them out, because that's where their brains have sort of moved to.
Something about, like, and this would go into the movie that's on my radar too. There's certain stuff that just stick in that people like. It goes to that Simpsons line. That like, which movie did you like? Remember when they have the film festival?
Yeah,
it's like, well, Flanders' movie was super entertaining and it had a deep meaning, but football in the groin had a football in the groin. There's something about groin shots and groin violence that's just always going to get a laugh. There's just nothing you can do about it. So
yeah, unless you're the one whose groin is exploding.
Yeah, they have squibs and special effects.